Hey, Andrew here for mynexttablet.com. Today with an unboxing video of the new 8-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab A with S-Pen. Alright, I managed to get the Galaxy Tab A 8.0 2019 with S-Pen, and yeah, in this video we want to unbox it. First, a bit about pricing. You can get it starting at around between $300 and $350 US. That's how much you have to pay depending on the market. That's for the LTE version, the one that I have. However, there will also be a Wi-Fi version. I'm not sure about the pricing though. I'm guessing it will cost around $250 US, but you really have to check in your country how much it is. Right now it is listed by Samsung Hong Kong, Samsung Thailand, but that seems to be it. I couldn't find it on Samsung India, Samsung US or Samsung Germany, so who knows when it will be available. I don't know, but let's hope it will be available in most markets soon. Alright, you can see me here unboxing the tablet already, and it looks quite nice. It certainly seems to be a plastic body, but the design seems to be typical Samsung. It looks nice. And inside the rest of the box we have obviously the power plug, and then we have the extra tips for the S-Pen, so you can exchange them or replace them. Then we've got a standard USB-C to USB-A cable. That's how you charge it or connect it to your computer. And then we have headphones, which is really nice to see, because usually we don't get them in a tablet, but it seems like Samsung really wants us to make phone calls with this 8-inch device as well, and that's what you will be able to do with the LTE version. I don't know if the Wi-Fi version will have headphones too. Anyway, we also get a SIM eject tool, and with that one you can also put in a micro SD card. And then we've got some standard stuff like warranty and quick start guide and so on. Alright, since I shot the first part of this video that you just saw, about maybe 20 hours or so have passed, and I already did some testing. However, this is not the final review, this is just an unboxing and hands-on with some first impressions. Well, let's start with the design first. As you can see, we really do get a full plastic body here. There's no metal, unlike with the 10-inch version that I already reviewed. You can find my review of the Galaxy Tab A 10.1 2019 on this channel. This one has a mostly metal body with just some plastic parts, but the 8-inch version has a full plastic body, which is fine though. However, it's actually relatively thick with 8.9 millimeters. That's something that I noticed when I first held it in my hands, that it is relatively thick, but well, I guess that's fine. Besides that, the build quality seems to be fine. There's no weird sound when you try to bend it. You can't bend it. It seems to be well built. It's just plastic and no metal. Then we get a speaker earphone thing on the top there. Next to it, a 5 megapixel camera. And by the way, with that camera you can also use face unlock, so facial recognition is supported. However, this is not like Face ID or the iris scanner from the Galaxy Tab S4. This is just using the standard camera, and you can probably trick it with a printed out picture of yourself or something. So this is probably not the most secure face unlock you will see, but it is built in if you want to use it. And I used it a couple of times. Let's just try it out right now. And it seems to work pretty good, especially in good light. Otherwise you have to use a pin or a passport, or that's what you can use if you want. Let's go further around. We've got the SIM card and micro SD card slot over there. On the bottom we've got one single speaker. Yes, it's only one speaker. Then we have a USB-C port, and then the S-Pen, which fits inside the body. We will take a look at it soon. Then we've got volume rockers, power button, and on the top is standard headphone jack, and then we've got an 8 megapixel camera on the back. This is the Samsung logo, and again a plastic body. I've got I think they call it gray. You can also get it in black, but this gray is really a very light, bright gray. It's almost white. I would call it white, but I think Samsung calls it gray. Then we've got the 8-inch screen here. It has a full HD resolution with 1920 by 1200, and it seems to be an IPS screen. At least the viewing angles, they're pretty good. Nothing bad to say about that. The brightness is also fine. I believe I have it set to the highest setting, but I've got a very bright studio light here next to me too. And it's a laminated screen, so you won't see an air gap, and that is very important if you want to use the S-Pen. And yeah, that's just what we want to do now, play with the S-Pen a bit. This seems to be the pen that we've known for years, since the very first Samsung Galaxy Note. That S-Pen looked just like this one. And yeah, that's how it works. It's pressure sensitive. That means if you are pressing harder, you get a thicker line. If you press lighter, you get a lighter line. And yeah, that's what we've known from the Galaxy Note series and from the Galaxy Tab S3, Galaxy Tab S4. And when I remember it correctly, there even was an 8-inch Galaxy Note tablet once. I think I had and even reviewed that. It's a long time ago though. Yeah, so that's quite nice. We've got the same features that you're used to from pretty much all S-Pen devices since maybe 5 years or so. Those are the air commands. If you press this little button here and hover over the screen, then the air commands pop up, and with those you can start to take a screenshot and annotate it, or you can cut out something, annotate it, you can create notes, we've got live messages, you can add shortcuts, and usually we've got a translator and so on here as well. No, maybe not. We've got glance, coloring, and however there used to be a translation feature with the Galaxy Tab S3 and probably with the S4 too, but alright, maybe not here. Anyway, these are the air commands. You've probably seen it before if you've ever had a Galaxy Note device or a tablet with S-Pen. And there it's falling down. By the way, one negative thing about this stylus is that it is really thin. So unlike the S-Pen for the Galaxy Tab S4, for example, which feels like a real pen, this one is very thin, like on the Galaxy Note series. That has positive sides. You can store it inside the tablet, which certainly is nice. However, you won't be able to write with it for a very long time, because then it will get uncomfortable. On the positive side, we've got a very relatively soft tip here. That's why if you've got those replacement tips, and that means it feels a bit more comfortable to write on it. It feels a bit more like real paper, not like plastic on glass, which it is. That is a very nice feature compared to the Apple Pencil, which I have here. And that one really feels like hard plastic on glass. It's not as, I would say, as smooth as this one is. However, this one is thicker and more comfortable to hold, especially if you're writing for a long period of time. Let me just write something here. Hi, this is a test. Alright, I'm not really good with handwriting, so hi, this is a test. Alright, that looks a bit better. And as you've seen, I put my palm on here and it ignores it. However, when I put the palm first, it recognizes it as its input. But if you put the pen first, then no. You probably can adjust it in the settings a bit. I would have to check that out for my final review. Anyway, that's about the S-Pen. Now let's take a look inside the tablet. And the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8.0 2019 with S-Pen is shipping with a Samsung Exynos 7885 Octa-core chipset. And together with that, we get 3 GB of RAM and a 32 GB internal storage. As I said, you can get it with Wi-Fi only or with Wi-Fi plus LTE. And as you can see in my benchmark comparison here, I already ran Geekbench and Antutu, and the results are very good for this price especially. And they're very similar to the 10-inch Galaxy Tab A 2019, even though the chipset is a different one. The performance in both benchmarks is very similar. The 8-inch one is just a tiny bit faster in Antutu, but that's really just a tiny bit. In real life, they should be pretty similar. And actually, that's what my gaming test shows too. I only played PUBG Mobile, which you can see here right now, but I've been able to set the graphic settings to HD and the frame rate to high. And yeah, it's really playable. I did see some minor stuttering in between, but really nothing bad. I really think with HD settings, PUBG Mobile is quite playable, and that was the case for the 10-inch version too. You could play it with HD. If you want it super smooth, then put the settings to balanced. That's, by the way, is the settings that you can use with the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite 10 or Lenovo Tab P10 only. Those only support balanced settings, but they actually cost around the same as this one. I only played with it a bit, and the day-to-day performance of YouTube or Chrome seems to be alright. I mean, it's what we expect, nothing bad. You can just surf the web normally, and the performance should be totally fine for that. And that's what I'm used to from the 10-inch Galaxy Tab A, which again has very similar performance. We've got one advantage here compared to the 10-inch one. This one has 3 GB of RAM out of the box, while the base model of the 10-inch one only has 2 GB of RAM. Alright, let's take a quick look at the software, and this is running Android 9 Pie, and together with the 10-inch one or the Galaxy Tab S5e, it is actually one of the first tablets to directly chip with Android 9 Pie, and you can see it here. That's really nice to see. And in the past, Samsung has been very good with updates, and I hope that that will continue with this one. On top of Android 9 is the One UI, which is their own interface. They call it One UI now, but not much has changed compared to the Samsung experience, and we still have Bixby here if you want to use it. And yeah, the settings and so on look different. You've got some typical Android Pie features like this digital well-being, that you can see how much you used it, and there you can see this is really just an unboxing. I used it a bit, but really not that much yet. Yeah, those are the features. There are some apps pre-installed, mostly Samsung's own ones, their own email app, their own browser, even a Galaxy Store, a Pen app, which is for the pen, smart things. And we've got the standard Google apps, which are pre-installed as well as Office Mobile and OneDrive from Microsoft. And here we actually have the phone app. However, I did not put a SIM inside yet, but I will use this as my phone for a while to just see how an 8-inch tablet works for that nowadays. And yeah, some Samsung apps. Spotify, I did not install it myself, so this is pre-installed. By the way, I already checked the DRM levels, and it has the white wine level of L1. So yes, you can watch Netflix in HD, which is nice. That's, by the way, the case for the 10-inch Galaxy Tab A2. At the beginning, that wasn't possible, but that got fixed with an update. And I already ran my standard battery test, and you can see here in this comparison chart that the battery life, that has a battery life of 9.5 hours, which is not amazing. For an 8-inch tablet, that's fine. Yeah, but not the best result, but fine for 8 inches. I still have to use it more, and I want to run it again just in case something was installing in the background. But yeah, as far as I can tell, the battery life is alright, but certainly not amazing. But for my final review, I will have more data on its battery life, especially when you use it as a phone or in day-to-day life. Alright, and yeah, this is my unboxing video and a hands-on with the Samsung Galaxy Tab A 8.0 2019 with S-Pen. Sometimes it's called Galaxy Tab A+, maybe it's called differently in some markets. So my first impressions are pretty good, not much bad to say about it. The screen is nice, the internal hardware seems to be totally fine. Sure, it's a plastic body, but it's not too bad. It seems to be well built, it's a bit thick maybe. The battery life does not seem to be amazing, but I really have to test that more. And yeah, it's nice to see that we finally have an 8-inch tablet with Android and a stylus again. That's nice to see too, because otherwise you can only choose the iPad mini, which is a great tablet, but it's also relatively expensive. And yeah, I hope my final review, I should have it up in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I really want to use it for a while, and then I will have more about this tablet. And yeah, if you want me to test anything, please feel free to write me in the comments, and then maybe I can try it out and put it into my final review. I'm NJ for mynexttablet.com. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see tablet reviews or other videos about tablets. I'm reviewing pretty much every tablet that is released almost worldwide, like this one, which hopefully will be released almost worldwide too. I'm NJ for mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching, and until next time.